What? We got the best of St. Louis. What's up, Nicole? Straight off of your traveling, right?
Hello, Sheila.
How are you? I know
Yes. I'm back.
Yes. I'm so glad that you took out.
It's just for work. It was work related, so.
Of course it's work related. What else are you doing other than working? I know you get some time, you get some fun, you have some fun, right?
Oh, always. Yeah. Working, networking. When you do what you love, you don't work.
Exactly. And you know what? Let's get this podcast off, the right way. We want to talk to people from St. Louis. That's why I wore my my jersey, right? So we want to talk to people and let them know the first thing. What is the first thing that people ask, and you know they're from St. Louis? What's the first
They
thing?
asked, what high school did you attend?
Yes! Ding, 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 ding,
You know
ding.
what? I don't know. I don't know what that's about. It's like, hey, what high school did you attend? And it's like, oh, okay.
Yes. So tell everybody what high school you attend. What high school did you attend?
Cleveland, NJROTC, class of 95.
Class of 95. Wow! Yay! I got some Cleveland.
Sheila, you're breaking in and out a little bit, but
okay, I see. I don't know why that's happening. Cleveland. Can you hear me now?
yes.
Okay, good.
I can hear you now.
Awesome. Someone in there saying, let's go. Yes, that's right. Let's go. So I went to Sumner High School, Cleveland, Sumner, ROTC. I had a niece that went to Cleveland, but yeah, that's a pretty good school. So let's get into what you can offer our listeners and the things that you do. Tell us a little bit about yourself. You know, I do, of course, know all about my Nicole, but tell us a little bit about yourself and where you came from and what your beliefs are and what you're doing now.
Sure, absolutely. So I'm originally from St. Louis, Missouri. I'm a business consultant. I have a strong background in finance as well. I believe in business and money are brother and sister. So they're all in my family.
Yes.
I generally stay focused on consulting. I stay on consulting, predominantly trucking industry, healthcare, manufacturing. Those are some of my key businesses. However, I have a strong business acumen and I try to spread it about. And currently, I am just sold a financial service firm. So I own Falcon Financial, which is my own wealth management firm, and I just sold it. So I'm excited about that.
Oh my goodness. Tell me.
Thank you.
First of all, how did you even get a financial firm? How did you start that?
Sure. Okay, so 20 years ago, I'm an old lady. I started in financial services. Acquired my licenses, and about 5 years ago, I know, my business partners and I decided that we wanted to take our book of business and we wanted to really, assist our clients without some of the nuances with working with some of the larger firms. So we started our own firm. We took our licenses and, we took our talents to our own building.
That is amazing. And you know what? So many people feel like right now, they want to be an entrepreneur. Women are like the number one, especially in St. Louis. If you really do a survey, the women in St. Louis have really come up and having their own business. And you are one of those people. And you also, yes, and you also go back and mentor others. And that's what I love about you. And, no matter how busy you are, you're always giving back. And so I love that because that's very important. That's
the key. That's actually the key to growth and development. So, of course, I consult people. However, mentorship is extremely important. Entrepreneurship is exploding, especially in the African American women's space. We are finding that we've become the most valuable players in corporate America. However, we're not always treated as the most valuable players. We're not treated well financially and with compensation. We're not giving the roles that are duly owed to us. We're often doing double the amount of work as our colleagues. And so one of the things, especially in the Midwest, women are saying, hey, you know what, let me strike out on my own and let me use my gifts, talents, and skills and my ability to do something that I'm great at. So with that being said, we have to be in collaboration. So we want to clap for our other sisters. And if mentorship and consulting and coaching is necessary, we should partner together and, support one another.
I love that. And you're right. I mean, that's the only way we can get ahead. It's not just trying to do stuff for ourselves and just, say, just let me have this business and oh, I'm doing great. It really is important to give back to others and to pull your sister up. Everyone didn't start, just coming out of the bag, just making money, it took some time. And if you can help someone else with the things that you've already learned so that they're not just, coming out, just trying to do things by themselves, failing forward, of course, but you give them a lot of education, you give them a lot of insight to the way things are done and the way things, you've done and the things that you've seen work for you. That is so impressive. And I know that, it was this always what you wanted to do?
Well, you know what? I think consulting and financial services came natural.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, so I'm always, in my purpose. I always say, hey, I'm on assignment, and I want to be on the assignment that God has given me. And I only want to work in my purpose. So with that being said, is, as I meet people and network, collaborate with others, I always make sure that it's divinely assigned to me. So I'm a natural giver. I always want to be like, hey, you know what? If I know something, let me share with you. Because I know that you're going to put it into a recipe and come up with something totally different. I think that's one of our biggest challenges is that we want to hoard information. And I'm like, give it away. I mean, sure, let the other person know. They're going to do something different with it. So for me, it's been natural.
I love that. I mean, I see so many people doing things that wasn't their purpose. They're not acting. And they wonder why they don't feel the joy. They don't feel you know what I'm saying? They don't feel that energy that you have when you're doing it. Every time I talk to you, you're always smiling. You're always very helpful and very resourceful because you're in your purpose. And some people, and I heard Sean Stevenson say that, if people don't know their purpose
Yeah.
and they're not walking in their purpose, then there's a void. There's always this feeling like there's something bigger, Yes. And so
We spot business owners, and I actually pause.
yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
No, I love that. I love that. We have to pause. As women, we have to pause and we have to give back to not only others, but now we're going to give back to ourselves.
Mm-hmm. Self-care is important.
Yes. It really is.
And you have to combine those with business. You have to be able to say, hey, you know what? I think that we've been in this space for so long where we kind of move from like, okay, well, we have to work 12 and 16 hours in corporate America. And then we move to the entrepreneur space and it's like, oh, okay, I got to hustle. I got to grind. It's always this forceful pull. And I'm like, what's yours is a divine flow.
Yes.
There's time for business. There's time for your family. There's time to take care of yourself. So we have to marry those together so we can be the best business women possible. Because if you're always hustling and grinding and, 10, 12, team no sleep, you couldn't be productive. I'm a little concerned when people are saying, hey, every day, all day, team no sleep. I was like, yeah, there's a time for team no sleep. But if that's your motto every day, 7 days a week, 365, you're probably not well in business.
Because you need
if you're
that.
Not working out, eating healthy.
You knew what I was gonna say.
All of those things are married. I know you, Sheila. I know you.
You know it. Get perfectly balanced. And you are right. You have to find a balance in those things. You can't just be, I know some people feel like, okay, now when I get my business up and going, then I'm going to relax. No, actually, you think better when you get the rest. You think better when you're eating the foods that you should eat and you're exercising. Actually, exercise actually helps you get creative. It starts that blood flowing in your brain. You need that. It's like a recipe, it's a recipe for success. And that's why I wanted you to get on too, because I was like, oh, Nicole, we got to get you on.
It truly is.
Yes, we gotta get you on because I know you know that recipe and I know you know it well. So I was like, let's help some other women who may not know, who may be starting this whole, process by themselves and they don't realize that there's help and there's a way to do it. There's ingredients that they need to learn. So when you
So I'm going to tell you the first thing. The first thing, it is team management. Build a team. Build a team. The very first thing I tell people is, where's your team? And I don't care if that's just your banker. You and your banker are a team. Hire a consultant.
Yeah.
Hire a mentor. If you don't get a mentor, you're going to make mistakes. And I said, which M do you want? I know y'all want M's in our bank account. However, either you're going to make mistakes or you're going to get a mentor. Someone that can help you avoid some of the pitfalls is extremely important. Additionally, you want to have, your village. You want to get your family members involved, your friends, because you're going to take on a new role. And you want people to understand that, I may have to be team no sleep. I may. But you also want to make sure that there's someone's clapping for you, making sure you're doing the exercises that you need, getting out, walking. There's a lot to go with it, but it's balancing it. It's truly balancing the day, your time, and your life in order to achieve your goals.
I love it. My cousin Rafi said that he also quoted that, recipe for success. Thanks, Rafi, because he's also a team player too, helping me out with my podcast and getting things all started because he's got that, mind where he is it's so easy to him. It may take some time for me to get it, but it's so easy for him. So I want to say team Rafi out there, but we need people like that. I love to talk to people. I love to find out their why. I love to see their vision. And I know that we can't do this alone. So I just really appreciate all the relationship that we've had. We've been friends for quite some time. And I've always, involved you in giving back, the things that we did. Remember, we did that great thing with the girls and you poured into them. They were seniors and they were on their way to college. And so we kind of poured into them to let them know that they need a balance in life. And these things should be taught in school, but we wanted to make sure we caught them early enough to find out that, now we've given you the tools, we've given you the recipe for success, and now you can go out in the world and not be, oblivious to like what college life is like. And I think we can do that again. We should do that again.
We should, because I definitely think that we need to add on the accountability partnership.
Yes.
Because I feel like we give people information, but we need to kind of coach them along on how to utilize the information we've provided them. And, definitely connect back with.
Yes, because people learn differently. Some people learn by the book. Some people learn by a presentation. We've been to presentations. We've given into self-educate ourselves, books that we read, going to presentations, but everyone doesn't learn the same. So for you, what was it and one person that made you really say, I can do this?
I give a lot of credit. I was just telling a friend, I give a lot of credit to my 5th grade math teacher.
Ooh.
And this lady followed me. She's an amazing educator. And even once I left the 5th grade, she says, junior high is going to be different. She would visit me when I got to high school. She would visit me. She made sure I got scholarships for college. When I went into my graduates program, in honor of her, I actually worked the polling place for last year's election because that's her thing, and she couldn't do it during the pandemic. So in Langford,
I remember you talking.
I give her a lot of credit because she didn't have to.
No, she
did not have to. Like she like chased me around, yelled at me, and that's the accountability piece because it's like, oh well, I gave you what you needed. I taught you 5th grade math. That's good enough. She did her job. She did it well. But when I was failing geometry in the 10th grade, she was there.
What?
She drove from her school in North City all the way to South City, and made sure, and she yelled at me the entire process.
Stop. I love that story. Man, shout out for those educators out there.
Thank you.
We think that, like I said, you'd have to make, I look at these kids today and I'm like, I want to make a difference for them. And you really do have to keep on them, keep knowing that they can, letting them know that they can do this.
Educators are amazing. I say over and over again that she did not have to. She didn't have any children of her own. However, there were several students that she follows through life. I'm one of those individuals, and I am blessed to have her. She mentors me. She helps me avoid mistakes.
That's awesome. And, I really want to say that could be the reason why you're also so giving. One of the reasons, I think, because she gave to you. I think that's important.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So you got other businesses.
Absolutely. I definitely can say that.
Yes. How do you handle, like, you have your consulting business, but you also said something about trucking. So how did you get in it? I looked on Facebook and there are women in trucking and they are jamming, baby. How did you get into it? Just for someone who makes
Yes. So my uncle came and he wanted to do something, and it was, it was in his wheelhouse. It wasn't in my wheelhouse. And I said, well, I understand, laying the groundwork for the business, and this man taught me so much about the industry. And from there, we just grew. And unfortunately, he had grown too old to stay in his current role with the company. And he still had more time, and he wanted to utilize that time in the industry. So I went right in and fell in love. It is a multi-trillion-dollar industry. Multi.
Jeez.
Yes.
So if I wanted to get in trucking, I'm seeing dollar signs. So what would I need to do first? Like, get a team. One.
Study the industry. Get a team. Study the industry. I think sometimes we jump, and then also find out if it's something that you're going to love to do. I love startups. So I love developing companies and putting things together and fighting for contracts and seeing things from start to finish. That's what I love to do. So many of us, again, we talked about it earlier, that people jump in because it's, the status quo and everyone's doing it and it's trendy. But you want to make sure that it's something that you love. I did it because of my uncle. It was providing him an opportunity to be his own boss. I just simply wanted to lay the groundwork and be the investor.
Yes.
After that, it's like, it's interesting, and it's business, and I enjoy business. However, I don't want to be there for day-to-day operations. I don't want to be there for some of the pitfalls and the problems. That's his thing. However, if he has, a challenge, we can definitely collaborate and, brainstorm and come up with something. But you have to do what you love, and that's what he loves. And so often when you marry people to the team, they throw things back at you to say, hey, you know what, I enjoy this, but you enjoy this component. So when I say that, before you get started and run off, because that's, again, what everyone's doing, do your research. Research and development is, R&D is the most important piece. A lot of people come to me and they're like, oh, I just want to do, a clothing boutique. And it's like, do you even like fashion? And they're like, oh, no. I was like, well, what are you doing? It's like, why are you trucking? I was like, you can't even drive. I was like, you can't drive. What are you
talking? Somebody gonna drive? What? Who's gonna drive it? I love how you said that too, because there is probably someone out there that's probably saying, okay, yes, I've seen people say that they want to get in the trucking business, but I love how you are giving them the, they need to do their due diligence to study what it is, to see if that's what they like, and to hire a great team. So when you say that,
you need a CPA. Yeah, who's your CPA? I'm asking the question. Who's your consultant? If I'm not your consultant, who's your consultant? Who's your CPA? Who's your attorney? Who's your banker? Who are these people? Who are the industry leaders in your group? If you're saying, hey, I'm going to go do a home care business, who's your nurse? What do you know about state regulations? I'm asking tough questions prior to just letting you jump into business.
So I love that. I love that. And you say you like startups. So there are a lot of people now, like I said, starting up businesses. Was there anyone who came to you, or any business that came to you and you wanted to do it, and someone said, "Oh, Nicole, maybe you shouldn't do that"?
Yeah, I mean, I'm real dry. I get to the point. With individuals. For some startups, I never deplete the dream.
Yeah.
However, that's usually a moment where I'm working. I have to start doing the discovery phase. I like startups. I do mature businesses. I do businesses on the exit side of things. I do succession planning as well. So with that being said, I work with businesses in various stages of the business growth model. However, there are some startups I know that an individual haven't done their research, and I can't set you up for failure, but I won't ever kill your dream. I had a young lady, and I asked her if you could just wait 6 months, and then let's start then. 6 months came by, and she says, "Oh, I don't even want to do that now." And I says, "Well, you were getting ready to invest $500,000 in something that you were not going to be interested in 6 months." I knew that. However, I needed to be able to take the time as the consultant to say, let's pause, let's look at it again, and let's wait.
Whatever that pause word is again, that pause word is really, to me, is resonating to me, because sometimes, like you said, that jump, maybe jumping in deep too fast and you can't swim. So that pause to me is just really sitting back and looking at yourself and truly, really, looking to see if that's what you want to do. I like that. I love it. So
I'm big on a pause. Like, I'm huge, because a lot of times we're hearing a lot of voices. We have the excitement. The adrenaline is pumping, and it's like, okay, I got it. I'm ready to go. And, I have the business plan. I have the investors. I have the money. I'm ready to go. And then I'm like, okay, well, I'm a holistic coach as well. So I'm like, what's going on in your family? What's going on in your spirituality? What's going on with your mental health, your physical health? Because if we have all of these business components, but then you have a health crisis, we've just ruined it.
Oh my goodness. You know what? I love that, because I see you also have been working with Fortune 500 companies, and that's what they teach. They teach holistic approach to health. They have all these different strategies to help their clients and help their people that work with their companies, because they know that if they don't take care of all these things, all these pillars of wellness, then they're not going to be successful. And so they're thinking like that, and they're making trillions of millions.
That's correct.
You got to think like that. Tony Robbins goes out and he talks about finances, faith, fitness, friends, family. He talks about all that, man. And that's what I love to express to people, is that, you want to get in business, you want to chase the bag. I want to chase the bag, but that balanced life, that authentic life, and that God life, you got to chase that bag. How about chasing that bag?
We can't chase the bag, and if we're not, spiritually grounded.
Man.
And so if your core values are not in place, and then you say, hey, well, you know what? I want to work 16 hours extra hard, but how are we going to work 16 hours day and night, and we can't even stay awake?
Ooh.
We have poor nutrition, or we can't get in a 30-minute walk. And I'm not a huge person. You have to drag me for the exercise, but I will definitely make sure I move this body 45 minutes every day, because I want to be at my optimum self in order to perform. It's difficult for me to perform if I'm tired. I can't have a conversation that's like, oh, and I'm having, brain fog, or I'm tired, and I look disheveled. And so I have to be able to move around. I have to exercise. I have to get hydrated. So it's just being balanced. Being balanced it's more to just, oh, let's just start a business.
Right.
We also need to make sure that we've started our life.
Whoa. Now this is helping so many people. Everybody out there ought to be like, I'm in. And now is the time for you really to start focusing, because we are so in need of good health. We're in need of a good immune system and energy. So many people say they don't have a lot of energy, and you're right. When you're not energetic, you can't think. You can't even be productive. I remember like Jermaine Dupri and Russell's Russell, what's his name? I want to say Russell Stevens, but Russell, what's his name? I can't remember his name.
Simmons.
Huh? Simpson. Is it Russell Simpson? I don't know why his name is Simmons.
No, Simmons, girl.
I couldn't get his name.
Yeah, I meditate.
Oh, yeah.
How you forget his name?
I know it. And you know what? I'm thinking of the guy that does the exercise too. So it just totally just made me just brain go. What is his name?
Now you're showing your age. If you're thinking of him, of him, you're showing your age.
He was very good though. He came out of the closet and everybody loved him, no matter. And that was back in the day.
Yeah.
Yep.
And my mom had fitness tapes, and it was.
You telling your age too, and we are born on the same birthday, baby. 10 years apart. That part. So, okay, so now we're helping people with their balance. We're helping people with their bag, their balance and their bag. What about the people who you have on your team? Like, how did you form your team?
So the team, again, there's some basic business partners. There's some, there's CPA. You need a CPA. I'm befuddled when individuals say, well, I don't have a CPA or an accountant. And my question is, why not? My very first question is, why not? What's happening? Let's figure that out. You need an attorney.
Okay.
So these people, again, it doesn't have to be individuals that you're hiring, but you want to definitely get connected. You want to have your own CPA, your own attorney. And then on top of that, you want to have a consultant. If you are new in the industry or you're learning the industry, you want to go to someone that's been in the industry that can assist you. That's huge. Then on top of that, then you look at your internal team. So you need to decide, hey, is this a virtual assistant? Is this, someone in my family? Is this my friends? Do these people possess the talent and the skills and the ability? And when I say this, I always say choose individuals that are both able and willing.
Yeah.
And I will tell you that, my 96-year-old aunt is able. Is she willing to get out of bed at 7 a.m.? No, she's not. So you want to choose team members that are able and willing. You have to have the combination of both.
Right. That's big.
Because we have people in our life that are willing, but they're unable for a number of reasons.
Right.
We have individuals in our lives that are, willing, but, are able, but they're not willing to they can't fully commit. So we want to find those individuals, and we want to say, hey, what business owners, find out who you are first.
Ooh.
If you find out who you are first as a leader and what type of leader you are. Because when you start building a team, consider taking some team building classes. If you have not worked in management, consider some manager classes. You have to first identify who you are before starting to build your team. Because if not, a lot of times it's our fault. It's our fault. It's like, oh, we're over yelling and fussing at our teammates. And it's like, well, you were not clear on instructions, or your style is different. You need to know different types of leadership styles. So before just jumping out and saying, hey, I'm going to hire, Aunt Thelma, and then you're going to yell at her the whole time. And then all of a sudden now you have a family breakdown and a business breakdown. In relationship, it's not healthy. You have to take the time to build yourself as a leader.
Ooh, so you are preaching to these people out here, honey. They need to pay for this one because this is some good information. Because really, when people think about business, are they really thinking all of that? Like, I think a lot of things with the CPA part, the lawyer part, and the consultant part, a lot of people are thinking it's going to take some money from them. So how do they handle that part?
It generally, of course, CPAs cost money. I mean, things cost money. However, lawyers cost money. However, it minimally meet one, set up a free consultation. Find out if your partner should also represent you. So if you say, hey, you know what, this is my style. I'm a high response person. Like you want to hire someone that's going to be high response. So at minimum, meet those individuals, send them a Christmas card, send them Thanksgiving turkey, start connecting before you need them. Often what happens is that we hire these individuals and there's a sticker shock with it's 5, 10, 15, 20 grand. However, you could have been making your retainer payment over a period of time.
Yeah.
So if the fee was $5,000, you could have been making $200 payments monthly and also building relationship with these individuals.
I saw you do that. And listen, everybody, she's not just talking. I was there on the holiday, and Nicole was giving out turkeys and giving out, things to her, her people that were on her team. I actually saw that. So, kudos to being that example to people because
it's bigger. Thank you. Because it's bigger than a lot of times. Again, we want to just say, oh, well, I'm going to run this person with my hair on fire and with my big bad problem. You're not going to get good results. Versus, hey, you know what? I met this person. I interviewed these individuals. I spent time in their office. I know what their core values are. I know what their response time is. And this is also a person that I can work with. They have, a type of personality that I'm comfortable with. And we have preferences. Some of us want to hire African American, partnerships. Some of us want to hire female partnerships. Some of us want to hire, different types of partnerships. So take the time to find out who those individuals are. Someone may say, hey, you know what, I'm particularly looking for someone in the older generation. But this is your business. Take that time to be able to find those individuals, connect with them, spend time, and then say, let's develop. Let's start.
You know what? Relationship. That's really what I hear. Spending some time with people, working things
Relationships
out.
Is key.
Yes. And working it out where you don't have to look at the big picture, but if you're working with someone and they believe in you, then I love how you said retainer, that gives people hope. That gives people the another recipe for success about taking it down a notch and not thinking like, okay, I got to come up with everything at the same time. That helps a lot of people right there. You really are helping a lot of people. Like my cousin said. Yeah, you really are, because right now is a time when people feel like they really don't think they can do it. And they need someone to kind of let them know the different ways and the things they could, really do that won't take so much out of what they're making,
Yeah, and when you're doing these partnerships and when you're kind of going in collaborations with others, it's just a different process. When you have gained knowledge about that person, hey, they're going to be out of office for this date and this time. The boundaries are set. Miscommunication can actually be avoided. Hey, this person works late on this night or not on that night, or they golf on this day and they don't golf on this day. Like a lot of my clients will tell you, like, hey, she doesn't work on Fridays. However, she'll still respond to text messages and calls, but not a whole lot of details is going to happen on Friday. It's just not going to happen.
I know that.
Something that I had to do for myself. It was like, hey, Friday is self-care for me. Yeah, Friday is a self-care day for me. So with that being said, I'm going to take full advantage of it.
So you say Friday's a self-care day for you, Miss Nicole, Boss Nicole. What kind of self-care things do you do on Fridays?
So on Fridays, self-care for me, any doctor's appointments. I'm really big, like if there's any medical appointments, I'm gonna schedule those on Friday.
Mhm.
If there's massage, if there is just the time to just have a moment of reflect, I take that moment to reflect. If it's a travel day for me, I want to make sure that I can start off my travel day well instead of seeing, I was rushing and I had to run to the airport. So self-care can mean a number of things. And for me, it's just being able to move a little bit slower, take care of myself and take care of my needs. Because again, as a consultant, it's a selfless job. My days and nights are spent worried about others and their businesses and their stressors. So on Friday is the moment I pause and I say, I'm going to make sure I went to the eye doctor. Did I get my contacts? Do I have the things that I'm going to need instead of
Wow.
the crazy stress? I'm going to do a boot camp. I'm going to do a boot camp.
Wow.
And it's like, hey, I'm going to work out. I'm going to get my hair done. I'm going to get my nails done on Friday.
You always look so fabulous too. So that's a good thing, for bosses to be all sexy and stuff, had her hair done and looking so fierce. I love that you also box.
Thank you. Thank you.
I think for women, that's a good thing to do because for me, I know a lot of women like it, but I'm not going to speak for you. So tell me, what attracted you to boxing?
To boxing?
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, say that again, Sheila.
To boxing as a workout.
So boxing.
Yes.
So boxing as a workout, one of those things, one, you can relieve a lot of anger and aggression. If you're ever angry, you can punch it out.
I knew you were going to say that. I was like, I'm not going to say it. I want you to hear it. I want you to say it.
Anger and aggression. And then also, I'm diligently trying to tone my arms as well. So it's like, okay, could be a great workout for your abs and tone your arms, but the frustration, the anger, the aggression can be channeled in boxing.
I love it. I was like, so many women have said, they love to, knock out stress, knock out anger, knock out, worry and all those things. And boxing is, it's fun. It's a total body workout. So I love seeing you with your cute little pink gloves on and all that stuff. So it's a sweaty thing. You get your workout on, but it is fun. And I say to anyone who has not tried it, don't be afraid. Don't think that it's going to hurt you. You don't have to really actually fight anyone, but it is very important. So let me see. Want to make sure we get everything here for you. We have something on here that says you also are a speaker.
I do. I will do some motivation speaking at events. Of course, with pandemic, we have not done very much.
Right.
However, I do enjoy imparting, what I've learned to others. I'm excited to share my story. I'm excited to share, how individuals can definitely overcome. And I always start out and say, hey, you know what? I had a baby when I was 16 years old too. So let's see how we can move forward. It's like, hey, you know what? It took me a long time to graduate from college too. How can we move forward? I worked in corporate America and I was the only Black girl at table, and I was the smartest person. However, everyone took my ideas, and as soon as I opened up my mouth, Bill or Ted was using my ideas. And so I learned how to overcome.
The overcomer.
Things. It's like, so.
But you know what?
Yes. It's like, hey, I started a business. It failed.
Yep. They need to hear that. And
so I'm excited to tell people I'm excited to say, and most people are always like, oh, the bag. It's like, hey, you know what? I can tell you I earned $1 million and lost it and had to go back to the recipe again. And it's like, So, what is it that you want to know? I'm happy to share.
You know what?
And through speaking, I can do those things.
Yes. And I think that speaking is just another way of giving back, but it's also telling your story. And everyone has a story, and that story saves other people. It lets them know that, okay, so I had a child at 16. Look at Nicole McBee, so my business was successful and then it failed. Look at Nicole McBee, So, I work for corporate American and, and I was, the only Black. Look at Nicole. You are an example to a lot of women out there that feel like, okay, no one's going to believe me. I'm not going to be able to succeed. You are dreaming and dreaming, even all the success that you had, you're still dreaming bigger dreams. And you're letting people know it's possible. Like our friend Les Brown says, that is born on the same way we are. It's possible. So I'm just really excited to have you here and talking to everyone out there to let them know that, you didn't start off with the silver spoon in your mouth, that you had challenges, you had, things that you came and overcame, and, and you're still learning and you're willing to give back.
Absolutely. I'm entering my second year of getting my PhD, so I'm a lifelong learner.
Yes.
So I'm always learning. I'm always challenging myself, both professionally, personally. I'm always changing the relationships that I'm in. I'm always saying, hey, you know what? Can we get more, do more, give more? Can we be better? Can we do better than we did last week? Can I do? And so it's every day I start the day, and one of my businesses is New Day, and I believe in a new day. I'm believing a new day and new mercies and new graces all the time. So my goal is always to say, hey, what else can I do? What else can I give? I have infinite possibilities. There is so much more in the world to be gained, and I want to seek those things.
I love that.
And if I find out before someone else, I'm sharing.
See that part right there. Sharing is caring. So what are the businesses that you just started? Can you kind of give us a little bit of insight on the most recent business you're starting up businesses, the most recent business that you started up, either with your business or something that you're helping others with, so that we can kind of see the real time stuff.
Okay. Yes, I had a few great young ladies. They're actually civil engineers. They're in Michigan, and they wanted to strike out on their own. They left their corporate jobs, and they started over a year ago. They literally left their jobs. They couldn't do this meeting. They were like, we just can't be here, not one more moment. Two bright young ladies, and they have scaled their business in a 12-month period. They were doing small contracts. I think they're about 30,000 a month, and then they are now seeing incomes to well over 165,000 a month.
Nicole, come on! Everybody's gonna be calling you now. I mean, you gotta have a good team for this, because people are gonna ring your phone and be like, "Hey, me next! I'm gonna call you." Oh my goodness! I know you have changed their lives. You have literally changed some women's lives.
They're excited. And I tell them all the time, you've always had this in you. Everything that you need, you have. You just need someone to bring out of you.
Wow. I mean, to tell you, you have and then not just their lives, but the people that are involved in their lives. That's amazing. I wanted to hear recent stories so that people can know that it's real. and that you're about your business, and you're making people, believe again and hope again. Keep hope alive. That's a beautiful thing.
Yes, absolutely. And that's what we have to do. Yeah, you have to believe. That's where everything starts at. Whatever you believe, you achieve it.
Yeah, you got to believe in yourself. Now, also, I saw you at the real estate auction, and you were making some major moves there. Um, how do you tell people about your passion for real estate?
So I believe in affordable, sustainable housing for individuals. In doing so, you want to become the landlord. Often we have individuals who are living in homes that landlords are not the best. So we want to be able to make sure that we're buying the block and we're giving back to those individuals who need housing what we would be willing to live in. Buying real estate and being able to rehab and offer beautiful homes, not just a layover, but a home for individuals to raise their families and to live and, be a part of the community is extremely important to me.
Oh, I love that. And that's another selfless thing that you're doing, because people do need to live in a home they're proud of. You're giving kids memories, and you're bringing back the hood. The city is a beautiful place, and so many people are rushing out to go other places. But if you buy the neighborhood, you make the difference, and people are proud. They're proud, and they end up really taking care of the property because you had a relationship with them, and you gave them a way of living where they can be proud of themselves. So that's awesome.
Absolutely. And of course, it is definitely a way to build wealth. But if we're going to build wealth, let's help others in the process.
Yes, exactly. So what do you think about 7 streams of income? You hear everybody talk about that. What do you think? What do you think that, and what does that mean to you? And do you think that's important?
So I say whether it's 3, 5, 7, 11, whatever your number is, that's the first thing. You need to decide what that number is. Because when you say 7, because sometimes that can be overwhelming for individuals. Sometimes 3 is enough. 3 can work. 5 can work. But I definitely think that you need to have multiple streams of income, and it can be done with things that you're doing. So whether it's if you're in real estate, that can be selling property if you're a realtor. That could be renting. That could be in investing. That could be staging if you have the gift for design and decor. So you can actually develop, 3, 5, 7, 11, 25-inch streams of income in all things that you're passionate about. But don't overwhelm yourself trying to meet everyone else's standard of the 7 streams of income.
Mm-hmm. I love that. I love that because when we get overwhelmed, sometimes we can't even start on that one because we're thinking about
This is
what
true.
they have. So I love your answer. Good answer. Because you got to do that one first and do that one good, and then start on the others. But still realizing that teamwork is good too, and that pause is good. I get that. I think that there's so many takeaways that people are probably writing down notes right now. And that's what I wanted it to be. I knew that you were a wealth of knowledge, and I knew that you were going to help so many people. Is there anything that you want to express as a holistic, into the conversation so that people can kind of write down and get started right now?
So yeah, be perfectly balanced. I think if you have the perfect title, it is perfect for. I think that we've spent a lot of time just kind of doing jack of all trades, and we've yet to master one. So master one.
Wow.
So be, and if that one is just mastering your life, just be a master. Have some mastery of your life.
Yes, I love that. And also, too, for the children, I know you have 2 sons. For the kids that might be listening, what are some words of encouragement that you would give to them at this time in their lives?
Ownership. You want to own. You want to own the process. You want to own the real estate. You want to own the business. You want to own in black and white. You want to own it. So you want to have some access to it and ownership. That's so important. We have spent a lot of time. We are late to the party, and for young entrepreneurs, definitely want them relate to the party. If they're going to join a team, be fully vested on the team. Not all of us are going to be entrepreneurs, but a lot of us can join teams and be assets to the team. And do what's best for you.
Yeah. I last time I was in St. Louis, I actually ran into you a couple of times. And the last time I saw you, we were at a Kid Biz event. And these kids were entrepreneurs, and it was beautiful. It was amazing to see them doing, the having the conversations with their customers and selling their products. And we need more of that. We need more of our kids learning how to make money. And they were making some money, girl. I got reports of people bringing home some cash, and they will never be the same after that day. I mean, people supported them, and they really had a great, platform. It was beautiful. Shout out to the organizer of that program. But I love seeing stuff like that. And,
Oh, I was excited.
Yeah, we need more of that. We need more of that in school. But I really talked to my daughter today, and she was just trying to think of like what would she want for the future of her kids. And she was like, I really would, in a way, want to have a program that would have a school that would teach kids how to get perfectly balanced. They would learn finances. They would learn social skills. They would learn, about the physical aspects of wellness, and so so many different things that we don't really teach. Spiritual, environmental, all those different things. And I was like, you know what? I wish we could, we could provide that for our students.
It would be amazing. So tell her whenever she's ready, I'll definitely be there to sit for a class. I'll teach a class. I'll monitor a class, whatever she wants me to do. I'm there.
That's so sweet. I know you would have mentored her for some years now, and I appreciate that. But I think we want to let everyone know now.
You're very welcome.
Now, we want to let everybody know where to find you, even though they should know who you are by now. But where should they find you?
So Nicole McBee on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. Website is newdayconsult.com. So you can always find me on one of the social media, or definitely leave a message, and I'm happy to call you back.
Awesome. So you are taking new clients?
I am. Through the end of August, we're taking on 4 new clients.
Okay. All right, guys, you hear that? Get on the phone, call my girl up, and you know what? If you did like this, like, share, subscribe, follow Nicole, and we'll see you next time. Thank you. I appreciate it so much. So